better.
Welcome, guest. My name is Tennile Coleman. I'm currently a hack student. I currently was a part of Crispus Addicts in 1990. At that time, I was in the program called Youth Against Drugs. I chose this field site to do my internship because I'm now currently getting ready to graduate. And I chose this because I felt close to home, and a lot of the individuals here that I knew and that I knew could help me further my career as a student of HAC. As a HAC student, part of my internship was to complete a program or a plan to leave an impact on my field work site. With doing that, I committed to making a Women's Wellness Fair 2017 for the spring holiday, for the spring weather. With that being said, I wanted to raise awareness with women and younger women about living a healthy lifestyle and living in a healthy environment, which we all live in and have to understand that we have to take care of it. All of these are very big factors when it comes to health, where we live, what we eat, and if we exercise. I myself do not exercise, but I kind of alleviate some of this by walking faster to and from campus all around HAC, and I do a little cardio, but at all costs, I don't have a daily exercise regimen that I stick to. So with that being said, I would like to let you ladies know that with the information that you have today and what you will be able to go on, you should further your healthy lifestyle and what you're doing day to day, other than just taking care of others, as well as being a mother, friend, or sister, or grandmother. I have a speaker today. Her name is Asha. I would like to introduce you to Asha, and she is a wellness speaker and would like to talk to you today about the things that the environment has to offer, as well as her literature. Please introduce Asha. Welcome, Asha.
Hi. I'm a Brennan Healing Science practitioner. Now, I'm sure no one ever heard of that, and that's not a surprise, but it's a form of energy healing. Going back to my school days, which started in 1996, it was a 4-year program, and what it is about your energy field and how important it is to keep a healthy energy field. Now, most people, believe me, they have never thought of their energy field, but you are an energy being. Your body is within an energy field. So it's real important to know about this, because different things happen to your energy field, and if your energy field gets distorted and it becomes a chronic problem, we end up being diseased. A disease will happen to us. Something happens. So I want to explain to you more about the energy field, and I don't know if anyone here is even familiar with the energy field, but if you're not, just allow whatever I say to take it in, because sooner or later you're going to connect this information with something else. Energy work is going to be, it's the future of medicine. It's the frontier of medicine. It's going to be the third piece of the pie in the medical community, which consists of allopathic medicine and psychotherapy, and then there'll be energy healing. Today, now I started in 1996, which was a long time ago, and today, still, there's not a lot known about this. Currently, there's about 4,000 people that have gone through the school and are graduates. When I went to school, the woman that developed the course, she was a NASA physicist. She could always see. She was clairvoyant, and she could always see into the body. And she knew, as she got older, she knew healing work could be taught. So she developed the school. She wrote 2 books. One is called Hands of Light. The other is called Light Emerging. And soon there will be a 3rd book, which is called Core Star Healing. Anyway, I'm really delighted to be here to explain this to you. Now, her name was Barbara Brennan, and I'll just give a quote that she wrote to start this, and this is it. It says, "When we lose touch with our true self and our own balancing system, we set in motion the creation of stress, physical illness, discomfort, and disease. By returning to balance and deeper understanding of our true nature, we regain the fullness of our true self." We are really born to be healthy and happy, but that's not the circumstances and we all know that. So I've had 11 years education in this work, and I've been doing it now for 20 years. It's very successful, you can tell, because nobody knows what the work is. Anyone here, are they aware of any type of energy work? Have they had experience in any type? Reiki is the common one that people relate to. So, okay, let me explain what the energy system is. And also, everything has energy. I have some pictures I brought, so I'll hand these out. You can pass them around just to give you a little idea what is going on. Everything has energy, and in plants, if you cut a plant, take the leaf off, there still will be the energy outline there. It's like a phantom effect, and you can imagine people who have phantom pain, it's because that piece is still in their field. Now, phantom pain can actually be healed, but you need to go through, energy work to have that healed. But again, this is not known. People have no concept of what we're really made of. So the energy system, there's actually 4 levels. One is the chakra system. Now, the chakras are spinning vortexes that are inside of us, and they take care of our well-being. What they do is they take energy in from the universal energy field, and they feed our body wherever they're located. So there's 7. There's more than 7, but we really focus on 7. So the first one is at the base of the spine, the peritoneum. The second one is here in your abdomen. The third is here. So these are things where you get gut feelings about, okay? The fourth is your heart. Then you have one at the throat, one here, which would be the third eye, and then the crown. So this is your system. And in the area they're located, this is what they nourish. In other words, in your abdomen, it'll nourish your stomach, all your organs. Now, if you have a problem with the stomach, there could be something, well, there's a malfunction with that chakra. And for the energy system, the only way that this can be repaired is going to an energy healer that knows what to do. And the energy work, there's 3 things they do. They clear your system, because your system could have blocks, and that's what causes the problems. They clear, they charge, and they restructure. So, and this works in so many levels. Say someone is going to have a heart transplant or a kidney transplant. The ideal circumstance is with the kidney, the new kidney, the energy of the donor is really taken out of that piece, and the person who's going to receive it, they are prepared through energy work to receive this organ, so there's not rejection. I mean, they still have to pay attention to doctors. This isn't to alleviate doctors, but it's, like I said, it's the 3rd piece of the pie. If people do energy work, say prior to surgery, after surgery, they're going to heal faster, they're going to have less pain, less medication, and again, well, I'm out of school 20 years. The school probably was functioning 10 years prior to ahead, and now there it is, 30 years. Nobody knows this stuff. Now, the other thing is, They're already developing machines that can do what energy healers can do. They can show what's happening in the field. This is all new, but they're very much aware this is a very viable thing. So I will again pass out some more stuff. We have seven levels to our auric field. Our auric field is like an envelope that's around our body. It protects us. So in this realm, again, things can go wrong. When a baby is born, their chakras are very small. And as they develop up to the age of 7, they're taking in information all around, you know, uncensored information to make it easy. So this is where the first problems develop. This is where people become, babies, children, become traumatized. And because they're so young, and their whole essence of what they're doing is they only want to be safe, you know, and comfortable. But depending on the circumstances, they learn to be safe. Don't cry, mother won't like that, you know, so I won't cry. But that's the beginning of behavior change, and it's also the beginning of when, as you get older, meaning up to the age of 7, you develop your belief system. These are very critical things that will impact your life in the future. Now, why does this impact your life? Because this is how we're going to see the world, and we're co-creators of our reality. That's the big piece. We co-create our reality, and we co-create according to our history, our beliefs, and it can go back generations. You know, it's in our cells. That's the thing. It's in our cells. It's not in our mind. It's in the cells. So we have two things here. If you visualize a period, and then you visualize the London Parliament building, okay, your consciousness is the period. The London Parliament is your subconscious. So you can see the material that can be in your subconscious, and what happens is that's going to be the driver of you. So in healing work, it's important to know your background, because as a child, this gets forgotten. Anything that happened in your childhood gets forgotten. And if it happens to be painful, it really gets buried, because even as an adult, anything painful we'll forget, and then we go on. But these buried memories are real critical to what we're doing in our life. In the 4 years I was at school, the question was always, who am I? And it was making you go deeper and deeper inside to understand these walls that block us off. And so it's unbelievable work. Now, getting back to childhood and what can happen, there's 5 major traumas that happen to us as children, which we forget. Now, they're divided into 5 categories, but it's subtle material, and it takes, these are words to kind of put it in a category. So the first, and these are fears we carry. So we carry maybe 20% of this, 30% of that, 50% of that. It's all different. The same experience happening to one person, the same happening to another, they're not going to have the same effect. So, I mean, we are so unique. And the thing is, only we, me, you, can do our job. Nobody can do it for you. You are unique, you're here for a reason, and it's a good thing. So anyway, these 5 traumas. The first one is the fear of annihilation. That's deeply embedded in us. This wound usually happens prior to birth or at birth, meaning, was the birth easy? Was it traumatic? Was it a welcoming household? Was it not? You know, all these are factors, and depending what this individual came in to do in their life to heal, it'll have an effect. The second thing is the fear of, hold on, hold on, wait, abandonment. People fear being abandoned. That's the next major trauma. The third one is betrayal. The fourth one is invasion. Okay, so you can imagine what that is. I mean, that could be anything from rape to you're born in a war-torn country and you're being invaded. So these are all, they're like dings that we get. And the last one is, I'm not good enough. And that one a lot of people carry. I'm not good enough. That's what they think of themselves. I'm not good enough. Normally people that have that, they really try to be perfect. They're the ones that, they really want the perfect body. They want to dress perfect. You know, they're perfect. But that, if you go deep down, it's like there's in there, I'm not good enough. So these are the things we carry. And they will affect us until we get to make them conscious. And we're never, making it conscious is a healing in itself, because they no longer have the power, which is the unconscious power on us. So this is something we have to really start to know about ourselves. I mean, you can go to a therapist, you know, a psychologist. That's going to cost a lot of money. This is basically what they're working with. But energetically, it has stopped the flow of your energy somehow. And again, it's buried behind a wall, and you have no memory of this, but it is affecting your life until you make it conscious. And then, when you make these pieces conscious, what happens is you develop a bigger container, and the things that come at your life are not so severe. They may be the same intensity as they were, but you know how to handle it. You see it. You can hold it more. And that's real important. And life is a wave. You have a contraction. You have what's known as stasis. That's a real quiet period. Nothing's happening. It's really hard to stay in that place because we're geared to make things happen. And the last one is expansion. So it's like a wave. It comes to the shore, then it goes back. But just so you know, that is life. Everything. It's contraction, stasis, expansion, stasis, contraction. So that's the essence, energetically, what you are. So let me see what else. I told you about the rooms, the triangle. Okay. This work is real important because it affects your relationships. In the schooling, as far as to go deeper into that, the first year you're training, it's about yourself. The second year is about relationship. You, in relationship with the world around you, the environment. And the third year is about your relationship to the divine. Fourth year, they put it all together. And you have some other things you have to do, a lot of other stuff. But anyway, we're always in relationship. So there's always an energetic exchange going on with us. So I have a picture here of a couple that's going into defense, because that's what we do. Energetically, we defend ourselves, you know. And energy interactions happen quick. They're like a flash. You can't think it, it happened, you know. So this is the start of a couple going into a problem. And this is what happens when it gets escalated energetically. And here is a layout of all the defenses, types of defenses that we have. And this is real, and many of you may have felt this when you're interacting with someone, like you're interacting with someone and all of a sudden they're not there. They're there physically, but they're not there. That's called withdrawal, energetic withdrawal. They left. They're just not there. Another one is, okay, here's another one. It's called oral sucking. That usually happens around people who are ill. What the ill person in hospitals, or if you have someone at home that's very sick, you go and you visit them, and all of a sudden you're really tired. You know, you're tired. And it's like, wow, you were oral sucked. What happened is tentacles come out from the person, energetic tentacles, and they grab on you and they just suck your energy to help them because they're having problems digesting their own energy, and they're not doing it deliberately. It happens. So that's another thing that goes on. And then there's another one called verbal arrows. Like if you're fighting with someone, and depending on the severity of it, you may actually feel it hurt. It hurt. What you said hurt, really hurt me. Well, you just received verbal arrows. So energetically, these things are very real, although most people don't see them. But if you're aware, all of a sudden something could happen and, oh, wow, which you didn't know this before, but yeah, I felt that one time. Son of a gun, that was an arrow. So here's a list of energetic defenses. And it's just very interesting, but we're all involved in this. I mean, there's no escape. So it's important for everyone to realize what the energy system is about, only for their survival, so they stay healthy. Because disease will start in the field first. So if we know these things, we can take responsibility and not ignore things that, oh, life is, you get older, you get sick. It doesn't have to be that way. So let me see what else I can do. Okay, I'll send this around. Okay, most of us somehow or another have had grief in our life. We've been touched by grief. So grief can do a lot of things to us. And I know people that carry grief for years. You know, it isn't something grief has its own timetable in a person getting over this, but it's a heart issue. So I'm passing around some pictures now of what happens to the heart and I'm using grief as an example because it's the easiest thing to use, but your heart will close off, and depending on the length of time it closed off, now there's another problem. You will get sick. You know, you'll end up with a heart attack, you'll just end up with something. So here are pictures, you can take a look, and this is all regarding the chakras and what can happen to them. And then this last one just shows cardiovascular disease, and it just shows a chakra system, what actually can go through on the chakra system as far as malfunctions. So, and one easy way to tell if your chakras are working is if you're depressed, that's an easy sign to know something's off, okay? It just is an easy way, and we all get depressed. I mean, nobody's immune, but it's your chakras are out of balance, okay? And part of what I like to do is, I really think people have to learn to take care of themselves, and there's several reasons for that, but one is our healthcare system. It's getting very expensive, and your premiums are very high now, plus the other thing is, till your insurance kicks in, that's high, you have to pay X amount of dollars. So now it's time for people to say, you know what, I'm not buying into that, I'm going to take care of myself as best I can, and if I get ill, at least I gave it the try. So one way, because I work a lot with the chakras to keep people healthy, and I want them to be educated. I want them to know this is something they have to pay attention to. There's CDs out there called, it's for balancing the chakras. Each chakra has a different tone, and the CDs are put out by Jonathan Coleman, and I forget the title of it, but it's regards that if you buy the CD and you just work with that, and he'll walk you through it, and he'll like give a sound, and you repeat the sound, it will balance your chakras and keep you healthy. I mean, it's better than nothing. And what happens is, it's like you have an internal massage, and if you do it enough, you can feel what's going on. You can feel it. Now, if it's a new thing for you, you may not feel anything, but keep working with it, and you'll start to feel this spinning. And for the chakras to be healthy, they're supposed to spin clockwise. So if they're still, that nothing happens, that's when there's a problem that's going to happen, especially if it's something that's gone on for a while. And let's see what else I have. And my last few pictures here, because I mentioned earlier that they're developing machines that can see things. So I have a picture here showing an area of a fella who has some problems, and then there's two healers working with him, clearing his field. The next one is about a gal that had whiplash and what her picture looks like. And then she's going into something called electrocrystal therapy. Again, these are all new things that they're having machines develop what healers could do. So I'll pass these around. And the work I do, it's no different than shamans, tribal, you know, like people living in the jungles. It's like, hey, they don't have a doctor, but they're healthy because they have a shaman. So it's this energy thing. Keep your energy healthy and you will be healthy. And the last picture I have here is showing actually what a healing looks like. In other words, it shows the healer, it shows the person that is being healed because it's table work. The client lays on a table, the healer works with her or him, and when that person is done, whatever the presenting complaint was, because that's how we start, should feel better. And depending on what really goes on, there may be additional healing sessions that are required. So that's my talk. And the last thing I wanted to mention was, if people are interested, I'm developing actually classes to educate people so they in turn can take this information out to their families and kind of guide people. It's not that they're going to go into healing people, but it's that it's sort of like preventive maintenance. So the classes, if they do come together, you're going to learn about your energy system, you're going to learn about yourself, you're going to learn about energy distortions and how they affect you and your health, and then learn about the art of self-observation. And that is one of the greatest learning tools. When you start to, you're going about your day, and all of a sudden you're very aware. It's about gearing up your awareness. But ideas float up from inside here. And you develop a sensing where you can catch it real quick. And sometimes you say, where'd that come from? It's totally foreign. But there's something in you. It's a true feeling, a true statement. It's called the art of self-observation or art of witnessing. So that's something in this course. And then how to maintain a healthy energy system. And then again, to take it out, help others, and hopefully we build a better planet, because our planet is a mess and it's up to us. Oh, and then the last thing I want to say is, in ancient Greece, when people went to Delphi, the Delphi Oracle, when they entered, there was a mantle there, and it said, the words were inscribed, it said, know thyself. And that's as effective today as it was then. It's real important, know thyself. And then the other thing is Gandhi, he said, something to this effect, if I want to make a change, it begins with me. So that's where we're at. And if this material you didn't get it, that's okay. It's in there now, you got it. So sooner or later in your life, you're gonna cross a path or see a book, and it's gonna be about energy work, because that's where it's all at. Everything starts at energy and probably ends with energy. Thanks a lot. Thanks.